So how to approach a SPAC buyer, this is very delicate stuff. The biggest issue is that, as we have found, and you will find, most of the funded SPACs don't have LinkedIn links so you can easily track down the principals, don't provide or don't volunteer their emails. You have to go to an info kind of email to easily email them. So we've been doing a lot of work on that. So we are building a better and better list of people that are in funded SPACs that we can outreach to for this, for our service. But essentially, if you're going to use email as the outreach method, which is nothing like as good as using your network. If you can identify the names of people in a funded SPAC rather, that is interesting to you, and better yet, if there are some people in it that or that you have connections with through a third party, get an introduction. It's just like, in that way, it's like approaching venture capitalists. It's so much better when you get in by referral than when you come in out of the big blue, wide blue yonder. Yeah. So do that if you can. And that's where networking can come in handy, right? Within your own network and beyond. If it's going to be an email approach, don't expect it to be a one hit. Expect that it's going to be a sequence of brief and very, very succinct. Brief and succinct are the same thing, of course. Very brief emails. If you send people long emails, dissertations with attachments, they're just going to not see them, not read them. You've got to be focused and crisp in what you say, and better yet, expect that it's a journey. Expect that there will be a sequence of communications before you're likely to get a response. Because guess what? These guys are out there, they have a lot of money sitting in the bank, and there's a lot of people that would like to deal with them as service providers, and a lot of others that would like to be acquired by them. So you need to stand out. And in my belief and experience, being brief, crisp, honest, and reasonable in your approach is smart, and absolutely not shutting the door to yourself doing further communications, keeping the door open to subsequent emails if that's all you're using. These days you can do very, very pinpointed advertising, which is what we offer in our we'll find it for you service. The instrumentation through social media advertising is so precise. A lot of these social media sites know more about us than we know about ourselves, right? I mean, they have at least an unbiased perspective in some ways. It's technically biased, but it's not emotionally biased about who we are and what we like, et cetera, et cetera. They know us so well. They can, really, really make advertising a viable method to attract funded SPACs. Which leads me to another obvious thing, which is stand out amongst the crowd, right? Because when you look at it from a funded SPAC's point of view, they might be looking more intensely later when they have less time, but they are looking. They've got good people looking out through their network and going online and paying attention to attractive targets. So be in the news legitimately and promote your business in the normal way, but recognize that this is a seriously viable way of getting on their radar, so that you show up to them that way, which is the best, right? They find you of their own effort and decide that your company is seriously engaging, seriously attractive, and then they come knocking on your door. That's the best of all, isn't it? I mentioned it earlier, but I want to reassert it. Expect it to be a process, right? When you get in the door, with the door just slightly open, that's still a journey to get past it to where you're actually having discussions and serious evaluations. Be open and direct, kind of obvious, but pretending it's something else will never work. And making sure that what you present is what you have, so that you don't waste each other's time. Kind of obvious, but needs to be done. And again, I know I've said it earlier, be brief, because in my position in Manhattan Street Capital, it's astounding how many companies will send me a book, or 25 attachments, for Christ's sake, and an email that's 4 pages long. These are not the signs of a company that has their act together. As a matter of fact, as a matter of prejudice, because of my experience, they generally don't have their act together, but it's generally actually true if I take the time to check, and I'm sure you guys have had similar experiences. Clearly stated succinct messages are the way to go. That's absolutely critically important.